Hola a todos y bienvenidos. Welcome back to Real Fast Spanish. In this video, you're going to learn about the Spanish words ya and todavía. When I work closely with Spanish students and I hear a mistake made with one of these two words, I'll often ask, why did you use ya or todavía in this sentence? And I typically get one of two responses. I know I needed to use ya or todavía in this sentence, but I wasn't sure which one, so I guessed. I tried to translate directly from English. In this video, you're going to learn a new way to think about ya and todavía that will allow you to quickly figure out which of these two words you need without translating directly from English. Vámonos. One of the reasons that ya and todavía are so challenging when translating from English to Spanish is that there are a lot of possible translations for these words. Ya could be already, now, by now, yet, still, no longer, anymore. Todavía could be yet, still, even, already. Now notice that both ya and todavía can be yet, still, and already. Let's have a look at a few examples to demonstrate this point. Imagine you want to ask someone in Spanish, have you eaten yet? Have you eaten yet? This in Spanish would be, ¿ya has comido? ¿Ya has comido? Now, if the answer to the question was, no, I haven't eaten yet, then this in Spanish would be, no, todavía no he comido. No, todavía no he comido. So here you can see that we've now got one question that has the word yet in it, have you eaten yet, that uses ya, and we've got the answer, no, I haven't eaten yet, which has todavía. Let's look at another example. Imagine you wanted to ask someone politely, if you haven't already done the dishes, can you wash this too? Imagine you've got a dirty plate. Now this in Spanish would be, si todavía no has lavado los platos, ¿puedes lavar esto también? Si todavía no has lavado los platos, ¿puedes lavar esto también? So in this sentence, we've got si todavía, if you haven't already washed the dishes. Now, if the answer was, sorry, I've already washed the dishes, this would be lo siento, ya he lavado los platos. Lo siento, ya he lavado los platos. So again, if you haven't already, we need todavía. I have already, we need ya. All right, and let's look at an example for still. Imagine you're going to a party and you want to check whether your friend Luisa is still at the party. So the first person you walk up to at the party, you ask, is Luisa still here? This in Spanish would be, ¿está Luisa todavía aquí? ¿Está Luisa todavía aquí? Now, if the answer was, no, she is not still here, this in Spanish would be, no, ya no está aquí. No, ya no está aquí. Now, notice the answer to that question was, no, she is not still here. Now, I may get some comments below from the people that know English grammar really well. People might be saying, well, Andrew, that's not technically a great English sentence. And if you look on the dictionary website for not still, you'll see that this is technically not allowed. And it should be, she is no longer at the party or she's not at the party anymore. But if for you that sentence sounds like it's okay, no, she's not still here, then this is just going to compound this problem of already, yet, and still being possible translations for ya and todavía. So if searching for a direct translation doesn't work, what should we do instead? To answer this question, we need to look at why we even need these words in a sentence in the first place. In English, if you were to ask someone, are you ready versus are you ready yet versus are you still not ready? Now, of course, you can really ask this question with some emotion. Are you still not ready? Now, of course, I'm going to throw in some tonality and some emotion to really highlight the point. But even if I try to completely remove all emotion from that question, are you still not ready? Are you still not ready? As you can see, it's very hard to remove the emotion completely because that's what these words are doing. They're adding expectation to time-based events. Wow, you're already ready? That was quick. Wow, you've already finished your food? You're a fast eater. Wow, you've already solved that puzzle? Impressive. Now that we know these words add expectations to time-based events, that leads to 4 possible scenarios. Expectations around events in the present, expectations around events in the past, positive expectations, and negative expectations. Now, when I say positive and negative, I'm not necessarily talking about positive and negative emotions, but talking about the positive or affirmative answer to a question and the negative answer to a question. So let's have a look at an example. Imagine you are living in Lima, and I wanted to ask you, are you still living in Lima? This in Spanish would be, ¿Todavía vives en Lima? ¿Todavía vives en Lima? Now, if the answer to that question was the positive or the affirmative, yes, I'm still living in Lima, that would be, sí, todavía vivo en Lima. Sí, todavía vivo en Lima. Now imagine that negative answer was no, I'm no longer living in Lima, or I'm not still living in Lima, or I'm not living in Lima anymore. All three of those sentences would translate to one in Spanish would be, no, ya no vivo en Lima. No, ya no vivo en Lima. Now, one thing that you may have noticed from this example that we can rely on with complete certainty is that if the positive answer to a question has todavía, then the negative answer will have ya no. So for example, ¿Todavía quieres? Sí, todavía quiero. No, ya no quiero. ¿Todavía tienes? Sí, todavía tengo. No, ya no tengo. Let's have a look at another example. Imagine I want to ask you, are you still working for the government? This in Spanish would be, ¿Todavía trabajas para el gobierno? ¿Todavía trabajas para el gobierno? Now, if the answer to that question was yes, I'm still working for the government, this would be sí, todavía trabajo para el gobierno. Sí, todavía trabajo para el gobierno. Now, if the answer was no, it would be no, ya no trabajo para el gobierno. No, ya no trabajo para el gobierno. With these two examples, living in Lima or working for the government, going back to our 4 scenarios, we've now covered the first 2. And this leads to the positive with todavía and the negative with ya no. So the first thing you have to ask yourself, are you talking about events in the present? And if you're talking about the positive affirmative case, then you need todavía. And if you're talking about the negative, then you need ya no. Let's have a look at an example for the past. Imagine I wanted to ask you, have you already been to the market today? Have you already been to the market today? This in Spanish would be, ¿Ya has ido al mercado hoy? ¿Ya has ido al mercado hoy? Now, if the answer to that question was yes, I have already been to the market, this in Spanish would be, sí, ya he ido al mercado. Sí, ya he ido al mercado. Now, if the answer was no, I haven't been to the market yet, this in Spanish would be, no, todavía no he ido al mercado. No, todavía no he ido al mercado. All right, let's look at another example. Imagine I lost my glasses. Oye, ¿ya has encontrado tus gafas?
No, todavía no.
So now going back to our 4 scenarios, we have expectations around events in the past. And in the positive sense, we have ya. Yes, I have already been to the market. And we have the negative, no, I still haven't been to the market. I haven't been to the market yet. Todavía no. So now, if you know you're talking about an event in the past, an event that should have happened or that you're expecting to happen by now, then you need ya in the positive case and todavía no in the negative case. Now, the last part of this topic, which can make this just a little bit more tricky, is that you can actually reframe sentences about past events to make them sound like or look like they're happening in the present. So for example, with the situation where I lost my glasses, instead of saying, have you found your glasses yet? Have you found them in the past? You could just say, do you have your glasses now? Do you have them now? And it sounds like this is a present tense situation, but it's actually talking about the search. Is the search over? So you're still referring to an event in the past. So instead of saying, have you found your glasses yet? You could say, do you have your glasses now? This in Spanish would be, ¿Ya tienes tus gafas? ¿Ya tienes tus gafas? Now, if the answer to that question was, no, I don't have my glasses yet. No, I don't yet have my glasses. Or no, I still don't have my glasses. This would be, no, todavía no tengo mis gafas. No, todavía no tengo mis gafas. Or in the positive case, yes, I have my glasses now. Sí, ya tengo mis gafas. Sí, ya tengo mis gafas. So as you can see from this example, even though we're talking about a situation using present tense conjugations, we're still referring to an event in the past. We're still talking about that search of actually looking for the glasses. And at the end of the search, we have them. We now have them. So we're still going to use ya and todavía no like it's a past tense, even though we've got a verb conjugated in the present. Let's have a look at another example. Going back to the question from before. Imagine you're getting ready and you want to ask the person you're getting ready with, are you ready yet? This in Spanish would be, ¿Ya estás listo? Now, this is if you're talking to someone who is male. Now, if you're talking to someone who's female, it'll be, ¿Ya estás lista? ¿Ya estás lista? Now, if the answer to that question was, no, I'm not ready yet, this would be, no, todavía no estoy listo. No, todavía no estoy listo. Or yes, I'm ready now. Sí, ya estoy listo. Sí, ya estoy listo. So again, this is talking about the time it took to get ready. This is a past event. You spent all this time preparing, getting ready to go out, and at the end of finishing preparing to go out, then you say, yes, I'm ready now. Or yes, I've finished preparing to go out. If you want to think about the two situations. So going back to our 4 scenarios, technically we've got present tense, past tense, positive and negative, but we've also got past tense actions which are kind of worded like they're in the present tense. All right, so that ends this lesson on using ya and todavía to talk about time-based events in Spanish. If you have any questions or comments, then you can leave a comment below. Why not give us a few examples of sentences that you can use now using ya and todavía? If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, then please subscribe. Now, of course, to get a little bit of meta, this would be a really good situation to now use ya or todavía. If you are not already subscribed, so this would be past negative. So si todavía no está suscrito, suscríbase. Si todavía no está suscrito, suscríbase. Now, if you would like more tips like this, if you want more tips about you learning Spanish, about how to use the grammar, then head over to realfastspanish.com where you'll find a ton of articles. On top of that, we have a weekly newsletter that we send out every week called Español de la Semana. You can sign up for that weekly newsletter to get extra additional tips. I'll have a link below in the description. So on that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak with you soon. Hasta pronto.